Over the last 20 years, golf club technology has come on leaps and bounds, and 20 years ago I got fitted for my first ever driver, the TaylorMade R7. In today's video I'm going to test this against the most previous fitted driver I have and see exactly how far times have come on and just what distance maybe you've gained over 20 years. This was the first ever movable weighted driver, and I cannot believe that next year this is 20 years old. It makes me feel very, very old. If I wasn't as young at heart, I would be quite upset by this. And looking down at the size of the head, it really does show just how much times have come on, because that looks absolutely tiny compared to the modern day Stealth 2, which we'll see in just a second's time. Guys, get in the comments below, what has changed in modern day driver technology? Is it face thickness? Is it head size? Is it carbon over titanium? Is it shaft design? Or is it something else that could potentially be giving us more distance? And how much more distance will we get? Because we can buy one of these golf clubs from our friends at Golf Clubs for Cash for less than £50, which is quite ridiculous, I know, but is less than £50 cheap or good value? Because they represent two very different things. And for me, looking at this, that brings back a lot of good memories. I got down to a 4 handicap with this driver back in the day, and then I pretty much stabilised at a 4 handicap. Can I blame golf club technology for not getting any lower? Probably not. That ball flight felt fantastic. Let's see how it compares to the most recent driver that I got fitted to, the TaylorMade Stealth 2. Obviously this is TaylorMade's current driver. We've all seen rumours about what's coming for next year. How much better will that be? Get in the comments below and let me know, do you think it will be better? We've all seen McIlroy tested it in Dubai this week. Can this go a lot further than the 20-year-old fitted TaylorMade R7 quad? Now that is my specs that I got fitted for. It took me a while to find it, but I'm glad that I did. Let's see just how far down this Stealth 2 goes. Guys, we're going to test them both out here on the golf course today and in the GolfSon simulator to see just what different ball speeds we get, what launch angles we get, what spin rates, what smash factor. And don't get me wrong, we're going to talk distance as well. So make sure, look at this. This head compared to that R7 looks incredible. I'll throw a side-by-side on screen now so you can see just what the difference is. It's almost like me 20 years ago and me now, just bigger and redder. Right, what difference in ball flight are we going to see? And straight away, this shaft feels totally different. A little bit higher, a little bit more movement on it, but looking at that, that looks to have gone quite a long way further. I dare say I've missed a fairway here with the Stealth 2 as opposed to the much shorter shafted R7, and that might be a good talking point in this video. Loft and length. How much has that got to do with increased ball speeds and increased distance? Right, I wasn't paying attention and we've had a casualty. I've tried to put the R7 on it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Looking at the head sizes, that is quite remarkable, isn't it? Check that out. For two different drivers, obviously totally different face designs, and if we look at the shaft length as well, you can see there's a couple of inches in it there. So realistically, a totally different proposition in 2023 as opposed to 2003. 20 years. Let's go hit some more. Okay, so if we delve more into the technology differences for these two clubs, it may not actually take that long to decide which one potentially should be working better for us. You'll see here we have a 15 gram weight in the back of the TaylorMade Stealth 2 and a movable weight at the front for that draw and fade bias, whereas the first ever movable weight driver, we had the quad system here. So you can see that I have that set up with the heavy weights just over in the toe. That is what I was fitted for way back in the day. So it brings back loads of memories to have that fitted there. Let's hit another one down the second hole here at Woolley Park Golf Club. And we're going to go Stealth 2 this time. We're going to set one out there ready for beating and then see if we can get anywhere near it with the old R7 quad. Guys, would you go and buy an R7 quad from Golf Clubs for Cash for like £50? Or would you go and spend nearly £500 on the latest and greatest? Obviously the big red carbon face is something worth talking about, because there was an element of the R7 quad that was illegal. They used to have a max face. That one was ruled out with the trampoline effect rules. This isn't that one, this is the legal version. And with this TaylorMade Stealth 2, interesting, we have 15 grams at the back, 15 grams at the front, so 15 grams of this is movable, whereas old school wise we had 10, 10, 2 and 2. So the fact that TaylorMade have brought in all this carbon to make it a more lightweight driver shows that you can spread out the weight a little bit more to help improve MOI, improve CG, and basically help you hit better shots. Now, can we get round this corner and set out the standard with the Stealth 2? That's the Tiger line, that's up there again. A little bit of a fade on there, moving quite nicely to be positioned in the middle of the fairway. Now, that wasn't the best strike I've ever had. I think I could potentially try and get close to that with this R7 quad. The first ball flight I hit with this made me very, very, very excited to get in the simulator and see what ball speeds we can reach with it. It's not going to be as fast as the Stealth 2 unless I absolutely pound it, just because, like we said, of the shaft length earlier. But then one beauty about having the shorter shaft length and the slightly smaller head is I love a mini driver, and essentially that's what this is. It's just a little bit of a mini driver, and generally you should be able to keep the ball in play just a little bit more. Now, handicaps generally haven't come down over the last 20 years on average. Is that because people are trying to hit the ball further, people are trying to hit longer drives and therefore losing balls left, losing balls right? Or is it because golf generally, oh sorry, that's the Stealth 2, sorry. Or is it because golf courses have got a little bit harder? I don't think it's the latter. Come on, R7, let's get down there. Tell you what, there's not going to be a lot between them. You could tell a huge difference in the sound of these two clubs. And looking at those, Chris, they are neck and neck, aren't they, down that fairway? The R7 on the left, the Stealth 2 on the right. So it really goes to show that a centred old school driver, as opposed to maybe a slightly heely new school driver, will get up there and will potentially hit you just as good a drive. Let's jump inside, let's see exactly what the numbers say for these fitted drivers 20 years apart, and then let's take on the final hole here at Woolwich Park Golf Club and see just if they're still worth putting in the bag for 50 quid. It's a great start. It's launched a little bit high. That's going to be that's as good as I've got with the R7. Where's that going? That shows the difference of getting it out the middle. 258 carry, rolling up to 277, 1900 spin. That's taken some time to get there, but it shows you can get some decent drives with this if you get it out the right middle. You get it out the middle. Tell you what, is that even further? Bang next to it, 257, 277, 2000 spin again. Ball speed, 155. Oh, 262. Right, let's go Stealth. Can we do 20 years later? Straight away, felt nice and powerful. Is it carrying past the R7? It is, but not too much. 265. It was the first shot with the Stealth. 284 total. Immediately feels more forgiving. Feels like I don't have to be as skilled. That's the one. 275, rolling up to 294. So straight away, the longest drive with the Stealth 2, a good 13 yards further, and we did nail some of those R7s as well. And that's the toey one. That's where I think technology has really come on, because I can strike it toey and still pitch it 275, and that's the longest of the day at 295. And so you can see, guys, really interesting results here. Ball speeds varying quite heavily and distances varying quite heavily. I think this goes to show really that the big difference here is obviously shaft length for ball speed, but also forgiveness in the new heads, because if I absolutely smashed the R7, I could get it out there or thereabouts, but then when I smashed the Stealth, you can see that it's actually quite a slow day for me today. I haven't been swinging as fast as maybe I have been doing, but still getting it out there at 275 carry, which for me are pretty good numbers. Okay, very interesting numbers inside, and as you can see, these shafts match up incredibly well. We have a TS flex, which is a tall stiff flex, not quite extra stiff but not quite stiff, and a 6.5 in the hazardous. Very, very similar, because an extra stiff would be a 7 and a stiff would be a 6. We have the R7 in 65 gram low torque, and we have the hazardous in a 60 gram 3.5 torque. Again, quite a low torque there. A firm tip on the R7. So two very, very similar shafts in these drivers, to say they're 20 years apart. So from the days of Sergio Garcia, I don't know who he is. Look at the sock as well. The sock's the one, isn't it? Remember them? Anyway, from the days of Sergio Garcia, Retief Goosen and a young Justin Rose, to the days of Tiger, Rory, DJ, and lots more money in the game and people shedding two different places. But very, very interesting numbers there. And I, for one, have really enjoyed this, more so for the trip down memory lane than anything else, but also to see that if you do get this out the middle, it can perform really well for you. I'm a huge advocate that golf shouldn't be expensive. If you want it to be expensive, that's absolutely fine, have no problem with that. If you want to buy the latest and greatest, you want to go and play the country clubs, you want to go on all the holidays, brilliant, I'm sure you'll love it. But if you want to go and play at the local courses, you want to play with second-hand golf clubs that won't cost a fortune, even better for me. It brings more people into the game that I love, the game that's given me a living. Now let's see if we can boom one down this last hole. I think this little thing's performed incredibly well for me in this video, and that's a little bit toey. That's the worry for me, because if I get a proper Stealth 2 out there now, that's going to be 50-60 yards past it. That was a really, really toey strike out of here. And that potentially is where the modern day drivers have come on leaps and bounds. Forgiveness has come on astronomically, as opposed to when you get them out the middle of the face. So, onto the Stealth 2. You see, because it was toey as well, the face kind of geared open quite a lot, and it was a weak shot to the right. If I can aim this 30 yards left of there and put on a good display, this could be quite embarrassing. Like that. Now, that's going to be the Tiger line, and that's going to be a long way down there. Let's go and see what the differences are if you don't quite catch a 20-year-old driver. I'm really upset that I've done that, because I really wanted it to be closer. This might surprise you. And so, guys, I really hope you have enjoyed this video. I've loved making it for you, and the realistic terms are, it's another fairway for the R7, but the Stealth 2 with a good hit, Chris is going to walk to it for us, so we can see it's quite a long way down. He's still going there. And yes, we could say the angle's different, but that is 54 yards playing 57 yards. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, smash that subscribe button below. How far has golf technology come? Forgiveness wise, a long way. Everywhere else, I'm not so sure. Thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. Goodbye.